Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brightworks and another match of Beyond All Reason, a top level match of Beyond All Reason. As in fact today we have some extremely highly skilled players going to be showing us exactly what they've got on King's Assault version 1.3. Our map of choice today, spawning all the way on the right hand side as an Armada commander representing the blue team, goes by the name of Glass. AFF Glass going to be showing us what he's got in a little bit of a backline position here. Not that I think you can really afford to backline. I mean, I guess you could. You could probably go for tech. A little bit risky, though. You're definitely shorting your team a man on the front line. Probably, I would say, either, Wise Guy has to definitely go forward here. So, I guess the best tech spot you're going to get, but certainly a little bit riskier on this map. We'll talk about that more in just a second here. After we meet our red team leader, who's spawning right up on the front lines, already plopping down that 10 metal per second metal extractor, and goes by the name of Sabotai, hailing from the TZN tribe, or the TZN clan. TZN Sabotai. Gonna be showing us what he's got as an Armada commander as well. Up on the fronts and going for a vehicle bay. Interesting. I like the vehicle bay here, actually. Yeah. Since you have so much metal with this metal extractor here, the vehicle bay actually makes a lot of sense. Go for the vehicles. Since you already have enough metal to afford them, you can push the advantage, claiming these extra metal extractor spots out here in the middle of the map. Yeah, that's quite nice, actually. Going up against him here is going to be MBT, Cortex Commander, and going into a bot lab. All right, not bad. Cortex bot lab versus Armada vehicle bay is a pretty good matchup, actually. Pretty much an even matchup, really. Especially considering how powerful these economies are. I wouldn't underestimate MBT to be able to produce just enough vehicles, or just enough bots, rather, to be able to hold off the HP forces, right? The actual sustained forces of Sabotai here. But I also expect Sabotai to show us some good things with those vehicles. We already have a rover running around the map right here. We already have another one already in the backline. Yeah, this is a pro level match. You can absolutely tell. Sabotai clocking in at 52 true skill, surprising nobody with some excellent aggression early on in the game, shutting off one of those solar panels, and the second rover moving in to shut them down as well. I don't think we're going for the kill here. Probably just going to try and deactivate as many of these as possible. Yeah, there we go. Shutting off those solar panels is so annoying. Yeah, each of those solar panels contributing 20 metal per or 20 energy per second, pardon me. But as soon as those go down, suddenly, oh, we actually get a metal extractor too. Okay, not bad. Shutting off those solar panels does cut quite a lot of energy, though, for the green commander. And that said, there's some grunts on the other side of the map, ready to counterattack. Yeah, ooh, we make it a kill here. Yeah, we do get the kill. Okay, not bad. We get the kill on the construction vehicle over here. Looks like there's also another grunt moving into the back line. MBT saying, if you're gonna kill my metal extractor, I'll just go ahead and kill yours. Not bad. A little bit of aggression over here as well. Yeah, rovers will be deflected. Very nicely done, but they do shut down that grave robber, which is important. Those grave robbers are quite expensive, so losing it does hurt. And yeah, just like that, a little bit of counterattack damage goes a long way. A couple of rovers in the backline here now. Grunts being produced to clean all these up, and they will eventually clean all those up. Very nicely done. Just a single grunt in order to shut all that down here for Wicco, and it will be a nice casual deflection. So an interesting play here from Glass. Decides to hand over a whole bunch of wind turbines to the front line. I guess that makes sense. MBT really only lacking build power and energy on the fronts here. That metal extractor is going to be a huge advantage, so holding on to that is going to be tremendous. I think this is an excellent play going for these advanced solar panels. I'm always a big fan of the advanced solar panels, but especially early advanced solar panels here, just so we have enough energy to actually go into full-blown unit production. Very greedy with the expansions here. Double expanding with double exploiters. It's very costly and very risky, but if these both come up, it does mean that this area is going to be well locked down. I mean, you can see the area of these, the combined fire area nicely cuts off this middle choke point here, forcing those units to either go north or south directly into the hands of another teammate. It's an excellent little move right there. I absolutely love that. Dual constructor teams moving forward right here for the red commander. We have one of them heading north and then back down to the middle here to build an LLT and whatnot. And we have another group going south to build an LLT and a mechs over there as well. I don't mind this, but it's unaccompanied by the commander or anything like that, which definitely hurts. Yeah. So MBT taking advantage of that very mobile bot force here and using it to apply a little bit more pressure. Not bad whatsoever. What is Glass up to? Oh, we're helping build the geothermal. Glass is just playing a total support role. Okay, this is cheeky, but I kind of like it. Yeah, we're just going for like full-blown support right now, rather than going for eco out of tech sort of an idea. We're just going for full-blown support, just kind of sending our resources around to the team where they can be most efficiently utilized. I don't mind it. I don't mind it whatsoever. I'd love to see these swapped out for a beamer turret. I feel like you could afford it. That being said, I guess Sabotai is completely out of metal at this point. Most of that because of these T1 solar panels. Not the end of the world, and certainly a player as good as Sabotage is going to remember to reclaim those once the advanced solars come up and running here. But yeah, definitely leaves a sour taste in your mouth seeing that many T1 solar panels out on the field here. Makes me a little nervous for if they get destroyed too. Oh yeah, very quick T2 transition. All right, I like this quite a lot. Yeah, MBT is saying, hey, you know what? If you're just going to go into vehicles, I know you're not going to hit a snowball until at least a couple more minutes into the game. Around the 8-minute mark, you can usually have enough medium tanks to really start causing some damage, or a couple Janices or Shell Shockers, whatever you decide to tech into. Either way, it's not going to come up quick enough. MBT realizes, hey, if I actually just play super greedy right now, especially with the help from the commander in the backline, I'm going to be able to go into a full-blown T2 transition. So a super, super quick T2 transition here from MBT. You can see Glass being, asking for a T1 constructor here to build some build power so that he can actually effectively help out. This is a really, really nice eco cheese. Yeah, we're going for a very, very quick onset T2 transition. I mean, you see that entire T2 transition took almost less than a minute, I think, to actually complete from starting the lab to finishing the lab. MBT taking some hits from Janices, never comfortable. No matter how sturdy you are, it only takes a couple of Janices to rock your block. Thugs and aggravators fighting on the southern side, trying to anyway. Classic and Wicco holding the lines here, but yeah, you can see the entire purpose of this is just to get this T2 transition out, and there we go. Yeah, we have the blue commander just running around upgrading metal extractors, it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna have a T2 constructor. Oh, is that what the build power is for? Oh, how cheeky. Okay, so we built the build power so that we could actually carry something around rather than the commander. We can use the commander's metal to fund everything, but we can use the we can use the construction turret to actually build things. Yeah, and then you can just transport this guy to wherever else you want to build, right? Yeah, not bad. Huh, this is a really interesting way of playing a sort of a support role here as a backliner. Combining with somebody else to afford the tech, particularly somebody who already has a tremendous eco advantage, and then using that advantage to produce the tech by sacrificing everything except what is exactly critically needed, i.e. the construction tower here, the build tower, and then I guess, of course, a T2 constructor. Interesting, very interesting play. As opposed to the red team, who doesn't have tech at all yet. We're all still well on T1 production here. Thinking about T2, yeah, you can see Sabotage starts up the T2 lab right now, but still miles away from that. We still have no metal in the bank right now, so eating up these T1 solar panels wouldn't be the end of the world. But for the red commander, this is definitely not looking good. Yeah, those T2 bots instantly trigger that T2 transition, but it's already way, way too late. Those Sheldon are going to be devastating on the front line. Sabotage probably wondering how the hell those T2 bots got out to the front line this quickly anyways. Definitely going to hurt. Now, the one saving grace is that Sheldon have to do their damage over time. They don't do any one big burst of damage. They just fire consecutively over a long time. Makes them much more effective. But they are slowly growing into that snowball, and once they hit that critical mass, it can be really difficult to stop them at that point. LLT slowly falling here as Shell Shockers connect with them. Aggravators falling, probably more importantly. Janice's and medium tanks up and available as well. Wise Guy 47's defensive line right here will collapse imminently here as these T1 medium and light tanks will start firing away. Twilight was built here. Somehow. I guess we don't detect it. We're using this as a bastion. Holding the line, using the Dragon's Claw, the pop-up turret. There's just enough firepower here to slowly melt it down, but it is going to take an eternity to do so. T2 Labs still only about halfway done right here for the red commander. He's been shared a whole bunch of resources. You can see Zerpiderp handing over a whole bunch of metal. You can see all that resource being handed over right here from the yellow commander. He's got a fabulous economy in the backline built off of wind turbines. But then again, wind speed is not tremendous on this map. So even then, despite the tremendous tremendous wind farm over here, it really isn't pumping out all too much power. There we go. Yeah, we have T2 mexes being built all over the place. You can see the constructors working on them in the backline, trying to get it all up and running here. This is a really cheeky way of doing this. Yeah, so you just fly around and upgrade everyone's metal extractors. Just put down the blueprints so that everybody can do it on their own. But that way, nobody else has to be handed a T2 constructor. You don't have to worry about handing those out. The frontliner can just go ahead and go straight into mass unit production. That's exactly what we see here. This is a really, really cheeky way. I wouldn't be surprised if this redefines the way that we look at tech transitions in the future. Having the tech player, quote unquote, fill more of a role of handling everybody's mechs upgrades rather than being in charge of handing out T2 constructors and then going into eco or something like that. This is a really, really interesting change. I'm all for it. Some of those missile trucks firing away over here. It's a very sturdy line we've got for Yotoniko, the orange commander on the southern side. Is it going to be enough, though? Surely not. As soon as these two armies pull together at the same time, we need to start trading away here. We do have the Resbots, which are quite nice here, but the build power, keeping all this well repaired here for Classic, is quite devastating. Yeah, it's so difficult to push into an army if you know that any kill you get is not going to be worth anything. So these have been set up. Wise guy should definitely be microing to upgrade these. I don't think he will, though. I like the idea. It takes a little team coordination, though. Definitely takes a little team coordination. T2 is up and running. The Mauser are on the field. Already, though, a couple of Sumos have pushed forward right now. Lightning turret doing the very most. Yeah, okay. Nice catch from the lightning turret. Manages to shut down a whole bunch of those aggravators pushing forward right here. Sumos will be deflected quite nicely as well. But we do have a Persecutor coming up on the front lines here. Well, it's a very far forward Persecutor. It is a really aggressive one, but I think it definitely could work. Getting that up and running and then using it to push back the line right here would definitely force the red team into a very unfortunate choke point. Gauntlet coming up for Dark Fury, ironically in range of the Persecutor. Rare that those two ever overlap because, yeah, very, very difficult to build those within range of one another without the other killing it. T2 Constructor, are we going to drop a Persecutor here or something? Oh no, we're just upgrading the mexes. Okay, not bad. Not bad. We are really committed to the bit. I appreciate it. I really do. I think this is a whole new way of playing a support role in the backline, but I definitely like it. You can see went for a couple of AMXs in the back here to just make sure that everything continues to be upgraded right here. Yeah, I like that. Looking for where the build power is and then putting it down. Wouldn't mind starting up a T2 defense though. We're reallocating build power. That's so cheeky. Yeah, setting the build power back there so that it actually builds that without having to be looked at. What a funny way of playing tech support. Interesting. Really interesting. We're setting up a T1 bot lab. I'm assuming this is for spam. Gonna queue up a bunch of ticks at some point. Probably start sending those across the map. There they are. Going to be routed directly into the face of MBT so that these Mauser actually have a way to fire away consistently. Not bad. A bull headed up north here. Just a single bull, but it is nearly 1,000 metal, so quite a hefty investment. Mass Shuriken pulled out. Here they go. Paralyzing a whole bunch of those medium tanks. Really, really nicely done. Yeah, that's excellent stuff. Very, very good stuff right there. Yeah, so many of those medium tanks paralyzed right there. The bull gonna have a field day jumping on top of all this. Shurikens have to be careful. You don't want to lose them sticking around for too long right there, but definitely making this a way more efficient fight than those medium tanks were expecting it to be. Bull is handed off right here. A lovely play by the red commander as well. Sabotage putting that down. Mauser not trading out quite yet though. They're not firing away. Persecutor has been completed and is firing away at full range. Probably what's actually scaring most of those Mauser back right now. This is a critical turning point though. This choke point right here, this lane right here, once this is open, it opens directly into the backline of the red team. So if we send any number of units through there, Fiends or Sprinters or anything through that choke point right there, we're going to end up with a huge advantage as suddenly Dark Fury is going to find himself without the means to produce essentially anything. Bull's not microed back, getting surrounded by a whole bunch of these medium tanks. Oh no. Zerbider's commander, you can see the hesitancy here. We're thinking about jumping on the commander, maybe not, jumping on it, maybe not. Committing to one or committing to neither is probably the right idea here. Ambassador to fire away at everything. Ooh, juicy Ambassador hit. Does manage to connect with a whole bunch of those Twitchers over here. Quite nice indeed. There's already a couple of those Arbiters up and running. Those Arbiters are so brutal. They really are. The Ambassador go down? Oh, I think it might have. Yeah, I think the Ambassador did go down. Hero LLT here trying desperately. Down it goes. Those Arbiters, such a powerhouse. This is looking pretty hopeless right now for Sabotage. We're going to need to see an immediate reaction right now. Shuriken jumping on top of everything. Mammoth, so difficult to EMP. Very, very resistant to EMP just by virtue of having so much health. Commander goes down, though, to the shelling away at by the Persecutors and the Arbiters and everything else that's firing away. Lightning Tank does manage to catch a couple of them, though. That's quite nice. This slow creep of the Persecutors, though, is super, super difficult to hold. Yeah, they gain a little bit of ground, but every little inch that they gain is another inch that they express an advantage over. Down goes the T2 lab. Beautifully done right now. You can see the economy for the blue team roughly neck and neck with the red team, but those T2 units were on the field so much quicker that they had so much longer to do, well, a whole bunch more work. They were much more efficient against those T1 units. And this is now looking like a tremendous advantage for the blue team. Yeah, what a cool little build order right there from the blue commander. You can see extremely late into the game at this point. Glass now just barely getting a couple of advanced solar panels up and running here. Doesn't even have all of his own T2 metal extractors, essentially sacrificing his own economy in virtue of getting everybody else's up and running extremely quickly here. But you can see all these AMEXs here. Let's just take a look at all these. 4 mexes that were all upgraded by the T2 passed around right here from Glass. You can see pulling out 29 metal per second, nearly 30 metal per second. Extremely, extremely powerful economy. Definitely well enough for T2. Might even be able to get into T3 though. Yeah, here we go. Claiming these 2.5s in the middle of the map right here. Obviously these 2.5s are multiplied by 4, gives you a grand total of 10. Quite nice. Quite a lot of metal. Not as powerful as the 40 metal per second metal extractor right here, which is certainly something. Reclaim quite powerful. Those Persecutors are unrelenting. Yeah, the way this thing fires up into the high trajectory and then rains down on top of everybody, extremely dangerous. Those Persecutors continuing to fire away at poor Zerpeter over here. Oh, the friendly fire, and we do bring down the yellow commander. That's a huge hit right there. That definitely opens up this northern side quite a bit more. Renaissance, the brown commander here, holding the line for the time being, but that means there is only one more standing between the northern side and total obliteration. The entire red team just caught off guard by this rapid onset T2 transition. Weren't expecting it to be quite as quick as it was. That is a really, really nice build order. I love to see it. Definitely requires some faith, right? You have to be aware of your teammates and what they're going for and what they're committing to. But that was really, really nice. Now we've got a Mammoth slow pushing in here with Resbot support just to make sure that it stays alive. Very, very nicely done. Gonna be virtually unkillable with those Resbots behind it. Down goes the Starlight. One of the few things that can pierce the Mammoth's armor. Thugs walking forward here as well. Pretty much just sending everything in the book. These units are already streaming through though. Blue team having a rough time, or sorry, red team having a rough time trying to cope with the loss of the middle of the map. Trying to figure out whether they should go into full unit production, whether they should eco or greed. Just barely getting this T2 metal extractor up and running. A little bit of idle build power in the back line over there. Mammoth looking very healthy though, and down goes the entire red base. Also that 40 metal per second T2 metal extractor right there. Very, very important that that goes down. Takes out a tremendous portion of the economy right here for the red team. Southern side looking completely lost, and I think this has to be GG. Has to be. So much damage already. All these metal extractors lost on the southern side. What an extremely quick game. Very, very nice push from the blue team, using the little advantages that stacked up over time and eventually turning that into a overarching, overwhelming advantage here. Fat Cop gonna be jumped on by a whole bunch of units over here. The Fiends and the Grunts and the Sheldons, oh my. Tries to D-gun down what he can, but there's only so much you can do. Down goes the pink commander. The orange commander just fell there as well. Maroon commander fell a long time ago to be eaten up for the metal. Now maybe regretting that choice. Zerp upgrade. It's an old ping. Nothing left there to upgrade at this point. And unfortunately, that's going to be a wrap right here. Yeah. T1 advanced solar panels going down right here. Into the Maroon Commander trying their very best. Units leaking in on every corner. You can see the yellow units forced to be pulled back at this point. Never a good sign when you're forced to pull your units off your front line to defend your rear. Definitely a sign of collapse here, and with the northern side still holding strong. In fact, still pushing strong. Yeah, that's a about equivalently sized Sheldon ball. Well, here come the bombers, though. We take out the Sheldons with them. Oh, we're gonna go after the commander. Okay, interesting. Yeah, commander manages to dodge all that. Definitely a little bit scary, though. Yeah, Bomber's hoping to do some damage over here. I think there's more than enough fighters up for the Lavender Commander, though, to shoot all those Bombers down. Indeed there is, and with that final last-ditch effort shot out of the sky, the red team comes crashing and burning down, and the blue team claims victory in this extremely quick but beautifully played game of Beyond All Reason. Absolutely loved what they had to show us today. Wouldn't be surprised if you guys go out there on the ladder, try this out, and end up winning a couple of games. Feel free to send them in on the replay submissions channel for the Brightworks Discord. Always happy to take a look at those games whenever I get a chance. All that stuff is going to be in the link, or linked, by the way, down below in the description section in case you want to go check it out for yourself. But other than that, I hope you had a great time, and I hope I get to see you again in the very next game of Beyond All Reason. Peace out, everybody.